So here we go, we have another beep. So this is our 10-minute edition, which is this fella here. So that's got our last lot of the 2 lots of hops and our Werfolk tablet. Just get rid of that noise. So there we go, 10 minutes to go on the boil and we're done. Then we basically just reverse chill it, which is this guy up here. I'll show you how that works. And happy days, into the fermenter, which we've got waiting there. So that fermenter this morning, I've just run some of the steri sand through it and set that upside down. There'll be a few residue bubbles left, but I've been told not to worry about that. And happy days. So after about 3.5 to 4 hours, we're at this point, which we've just finished our boil. And now it's time to reverse chill. So what do we got there? So there we go, our wort's ready to undergo fermentation. So we better put it in the fermenter. So that involves a reverse chiller up there, and I'll set that up and show you how that works. So that's the chiller on top there. So what I normally do, this is your return hose. I'll just pull that one out, put that in the sink for now. We'll turn on our pump. And I just let a little bit of fluid come out of that, because it's been flushed out before. Takes a little bit to come through. So when I'm satisfied that that's good, clean water coming, I'll just put that one back into the hole. And basically I just let that recirculate for a few minutes. Now that's going through unchilled at the moment. So that's going to sterilise everything. The water still, or the wort is still running at 100 degrees C, so as you can imagine that's a good sterilisation unit. So I'll just connect these hoses. I'll have to put you down again and I'll show you when that's set up. So I've got that set up, that's the reverse chiller. So the blue line goes to the cold tap, and the red line, normally you would put it down the drain, but in my circumstances, I live in the town, but we run on tank water. So that green hose there, out the door and all the way back to the tank. So recirculate the water so I don't lose any water. It does cost to run the pump, but at the same time I'm conserving our water. So that's been running for approximately 2 minutes, so that'll be nicely sterilised. So now I'll turn on the cold water. It does do a bit of a bubble because that whole coil there is heated to 100 degrees now. So I streak the water on. That was just my pump kicking in. And there we go. So we're now chilling our wort, and you'll feel the difference in the hose straight away. That's gone down considerably. The ideal temperature to come through is about 22 degrees. I think it chills it too fairly comfortably. So we've got our fermenter ready. I normally keep the lid on top of that. And it's at this point we get slightly scientific. This is where we get our hydrometer. So we've got a little beaker here. We'll catch some water in that and our hydrometer. Now I don't know whether you're all familiar with the hydrometer, but this is going to give us our original gravity reading. And we'll want to be somewhere above 140. It's not focusing very well, but so on that scale we want to be above 140, above that yellow section. And then after fermentation we'll take another reading and a quick calculation. We can compare the two and we come up with our alcohol content. So to fill this up I'm going to need 2 hands, so back in a sec. So here we go, so that's our little beaker full of our wort. We'll drop the hydrometer in, hopefully it won't overflow. It's going to go close, but no, perfect. should turn it around a little bit. So there we have it. So it's roughly 2, 4, so 1.46. So I'll just note that down in my book. And that's our original gravity reading. All relevant when we get to the other end after fermentation in 10 days. We take our second reading and that'll come back. So our OG is 1.046. So now I've transferred the hose into the fermenter. So that's going to take a while to transfer. And all the time it's being chilled to roughly about 20 degrees, might be 20-22, which is where we want to pitch our yeast. And then I'll transfer this into the fridge. I've got another spot in the fridge. I've probably showed you the fridge before, but I have 2 of these, and they're both set up with the Inkbird controllers. This one's set at 18 degrees, slightly high at the moment, but it's actually on and cooling. And this one is 16 degrees. So we've got a spot in there for that. And one ready to go. So I've just cast the yeast on top of that one, so that one should be ready. Like, it probably takes 24 hours to activate, and then that will start to bubble. So that's basically it. I won't bore you with the cleaning details at the end of it. But yeah, it's finally show you who's behind all this, but it certainly is a an interesting process. The only product that we put in is a well flock tablet, and I was a bit concerned about that, but I read up on that, and basically it's a carrageen extract and Irish moss, which is basically a seaweed. So, and that's just a clearing agent. So I thoroughly enjoy Brew Day. I really enjoy what I do. Obviously the product at the end of the day is awesome. We're lucky enough to have tank water here, which saves a lot of hassle as far as using any other chemicals to get your water right to make your brew. But yeah, and the economics are there as well. At the end of the day, when I got to brew 100, I thought it was probably time to crunch a few numbers and just see how it was panning out cost-wise. And basically it costs you about under $20 to do a brew. You're paying $3 to $4 for your grain. Your yeasts are roughly $5 or $6. Your hops can blow out at times, like some of the hops that are in the quantity of hops that are in some of the pale ales and things like that are 200 grams, so that sort of blows it out a little bit. But I've roughly worked out that I'm so far in front it's not funny. It's a bit of a initial cost to set up with urns and the grainfather fermenter and things like that, and the dispenser, like your kegerator, you're probably looking around $1,000 for that. But all up, it was probably about a $2,500 setup, which I would have recouped in the first year, which, it's a little bit of beer, but I do share it. It's not I have Sunday beers up here with the guys, and they all come up, and they all thoroughly enjoy the product as well, and we sit around and have a great social day, and everything is natural. There's no chemicals involved. There's no preservatives. There's no chemicals. There's no additives. We use cleaning products, which are commercially viable. They've probably got a few different contaminants in it to get rid of the nasties that can grow in beer and in the byproducts. But at the end of the day, it's a natural product. It's a great product. I'm amazed at the quality of the beer that I can make at home, and yeah, it's commercially, I'm quids in front. So for the love of beer.